You might not fear competition. You might not fear challenges. But at the same time, you could be terrified of making mistakes. And because of that, you procrastinate, stay silent, avoid risks, and never start. Not because you're incapable, but because inside, a mistake feels like shame. The sneakiest part? This fear rarely looks like fear. It whispers things like, "I'm not ready yet. I need to do better. I'll wait for the right moment." But in reality, it quietly decides for you where you won't go, what you won't try, and who you won't become. And the worst part? This fear didn't show up yesterday. It's been with you a long time.
So why is the fear of making a mistake stronger than the fear of losing? Losing hurts, but making a mistake, that's shameful, and the brain fears it even more. You can lose with dignity, but making a mistake means looking stupid, being exposed, turning out to be less than people think you are. That's why so many people aren't afraid of the hard path. They're afraid of looking imperfect while walking it. Here's the paradox. You often choose to do nothing rather than take a risk and make a mistake, because inaction feels safer than the chance of looking imperfect.
And what role do parents, school, and pressure play in this? Your fear of making mistakes isn't innate. It was taught to you. As a child, when mistakes were met with shame, how could you write that? You could have done better. Look, the others did it, but you didn't. When praise came not for effort, but only for results. When love and approval depended on success. When mistakes were seen not as learning, but as failure. Your brain made a simple calculation. Mistake equals danger equals shame equals rejection. Over time, the voices of parents and teachers became your own inner critic.
How fear of making mistakes turns into perfectionism, procrastination, and self-sabotage. Fear of making mistakes isn't just anxiety. It builds habits that block results. Perfectionism? That's a direct offspring of fear. Studies show that about 30% of adults with high anxiety about mistakes struggle with chronic perfectionism. They spend their time not creating results, but endlessly checking, correcting, and refining. Self-sabotage is the next level. You undermine your own efforts before you even start. Launching a project, giving a presentation, talking to colleagues, everything becomes an internal battle, and your brain decides, better not try than make a mistake.
How this fear destroys potential, career, relationships, and confidence. Fear of mistakes seeps into every part of life. At work, it kills initiative. Studies show employees with high fear of failure are 25% less likely to pitch new ideas. In relationships, it turns into silence and restraint. Fear of opening up blocks closeness. Every missed opportunity reinforces the same pattern: better not take risks. Talents go unused, opportunities pass by, and confidence takes a nosedive.
How to rewrite childhood patterns and stop living under your inner critic. Fear of making mistakes is a pattern, and it can be rewritten. Start small. One comment in a meeting, one bold move at work, one sentence in a conversation. The key is to act despite the fear. Practice safely. Rehearse in front of a mirror. Record yourself. Surround yourself with supportive friends. Your brain will learn mistakes aren't dangerous. Separate the critic's voice from yourself. That inner voice, it's just an echo from childhood, not your reality. Notice it, but don't obey it. Repeat consistently. Every small step builds new neural pathways and reduces anxiety. The fear of making mistakes is not you. It's an echo from childhood that has kept you stuck for years. Ask yourself, how many opportunities have you already missed because you were afraid to fail? And how many more will slip by if you don't change? The fear of mistakes should never make the decisions for you. Start today. Teach your brain that being imperfect is safe and taking action is necessary.